This woman, Nooma Zarubina, age 34, was just arrested by the FBI on suspicion of working for the Russian government. She is Russian. She's from a town in Siberia called Tomsk, and she moved to Brooklyn, New York, and had been working there as an NGO and representative with the United Nations. Among other things, she worked with a Russian cultural center as well, and the FBI has now tied her to working with the FSB, which used to be the KGB, and they have not yet officially named her as a spy, but they are charging her with giving them false information. She seemed perplexed by the whole thing. Like, she seemed shocked that she was even being arrested, even though they had been bringing her in for questioning for 4 years. Some sources say that she went by the codename Alyssa, others say that her name was Alice. But in December of 2020, she was recruited by the FSB to secretly take orders from her home country's intelligence apparatus to cultivate relationships with useful Americans, such as journalists and military personnel, who could eventually be converted to the Russian way of thinking. Zarubina is kind of a strange character, and on her Instagram I found her at the International Spy Museum. She was checking it out in Washington, D.C. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. She also has this great post, "Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same." It seemed that when she was younger, she really wanted to be a model, and she's posted like a ton of modeling photos on her social media. I think, honestly, my personal opinion is that she wanted to be a model and like kind of a Russian influencer or whatever. Okay, that not in the way that sounds, but like, you know, more of like just a lifestyle influencer. She seems like she was really into art and traveling, and then there's some posts of her going to like Iran and stuff like that, and well, she's been to the UAE and Jordan and Israel and basically did a lot of traveling. I think she studied foreign affairs and wanted to get into like foreign relations and economic development, stuff like that. She moved to the United States in 2016. Well, she came on a visa in 2015 and then like immigrated here in 2016 and started working. She ended up marrying an American man and they had a daughter together. She worked for the UN for a few years, but it really seemed like when the FSB contacted her in 2020 that she really started to make more political contacts. And, you know, I personally think that maybe her contact with them went even before that because of her interest in politics. Like, she makes weird hashtags. This is like hashtag politics, but she had some that were like hashtag contacts, hashtag Russia Youth Federation. Like, she does seem like a very proud Russian. It seems like a lot of her politics kind of like, there was like a shift in them, in the things that she was posting. Some of the stuff she posts seemed like really anti-Putin, but then she's posting about how she wants the Ukraine to like give back their territories to Russia, if I read that correctly. She's posting about being a Trump supporter, which, you know, there's been a lot of conversations about Trump and Putin's connection and their like friendship. The little girl books that she's reading, The Plot to Hack America, How Putin's Cyber Spies and WikiLeaks Tried to Steal the 2016 Election. There's just a lot of weird things about her, like the fact that she's actually reading like a spy book and went to the spy museum and is like contacts with the FSB. She has this mentor who runs the like Russia Cultural Center in New York, and that mentor has been connected to the FSB. That woman is also her daughter's godmother. She also like denied having a connection to the FSB and being a spy, and they caught her in multiple lies, which is not a good look. They're not charging her with espionage, as I previously mentioned, but they are, you know, it is a federal crime to lie to any like federal agent under oath. So she is being charged with that, I believe. She actually asked the FBI about phone surveillance. That's kind of a no. That's like a don't do that. If you're trying to not have people think that you're a spy, maybe don't ask how like government surveillance systems operate and if your phones are being listened to. Zarubina, do you understand these charges against you? Do you have any other questions for us? Yes. How does the phone surveillance work? How is the FBI's governmental operations of phone listening device surveillance? Could you explain this to me in detail, please?
Did this bitch really just ask that?
They also asked her if she had any friends or knew anyone in the FSB, and she was like, only school friends. Just friends from school. No big deal. I also don't understand this post on her Instagram. She's holding up isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and the caption says, the best gift in years. Is this like a Russian joke about like cleaning away your guilt? Like what? I don't get it. Anyway, she's just super weird. I'm sure more information will come out about her. The stories that I've read about her are a little sketchy, as you heard. Like, her responses are just not adding up. It's also weird that she was, like, shocked that she got arrested because, like, the FBI had been talking to her for 4 years. She's like, what? We've been talking for 4 years. What's the problem? Like, you realize it's not, like, normal to talk to the FBI? Like, people don't just get questioned by the FBI routinely. Like, there's usually a reason. So I don't know. I know they're not like calling her a spy or whatever, but like she seems pretty spy-like to me. And at the very least, she's a Russian agent trying to make contacts with various Americans, as previously mentioned, in the military or journalists or politics, so that she can influence them. So that is just super sketchy. And I wonder how many more people out there are like her. Oh my god. So when I was looking her up, I typed in Zarubina. Someone with the exact same last name was a Russian spy. Soviet spy Polkovnik of the MGB. I don't know what any of that means. She was known as Elizabeth Zulbilin while serving in the United States. Same last name. Coincidence? Maybe. Anyways, that's what I've read so far about Zarubina. It seems like there's like not a lot of interest in her. Maybe it's just me, but I've always had an interest in the whole espionage stuff and spies and like Russia and America. So I think it's fascinating. I think that you can't really trust anything that she kind of does because like of the connection to the FSB. So like, who knows what her actual intentions are? Who knows what her actual political views are? I really don't know. But I just am like cracking up that you're like reading spy books and going to the spy museum. Like, I'm dead. Also, I don't care what anyone says, but it's a red flag to upload your visa information or like any ID cards or stuff like that. Like, she uploaded other ID cards as well. Why do people do that? That's super weird. Why would you do that?